So welcome back. I'm Ted Thomas. For the past 30 years, I've been involved in tax lien certificates and tax defaulted property. So tax liens and tax deeds. Now I've been involved in this business because it involved that I started buying tax properties at auctions and getting great deals. And then next thing you know, I was teaching people how to do it, and I became a mentor and then a coach. And then I started a whole business of helping other people do all this. Okay. So this episode is going to discuss and answer your questions, how to sell vacant land and do it fast. Easiest way to do that is buy it right and then sell it right. So I call that buy low, sell low. So I like to buy at these auctions, and there's not a lot of competition for land. Everybody at tax deed auction wants to make a deal. They're there because they think the auction is the deal. And they think it's a great deal, and sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But one thing's for sure, most people that grew up in a house, well, actually many of them were conceived in the house, and they grew up in the house, and then what do? They live in a house. So they're going to go bid on houses. That's what they think they know. Well, I like to go to the auction, and yes, I do buy houses. However, if I can look at residential land, and it's in a residential neighborhood, I know I can buy it low and sell it low because everybody else is looking at the houses. So it's a little bit on the contrarian side. So I want to sell vacant land fast, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to try and buy it low, I'm going to try and sell it low, and I'm going to do a lot of things to make it happen quickly. And the first thing I do is make sure it's got plenty of signs on it. Okay, so on paper, this business sounds like it's a piece of cake. And I'm going to tell you, when you watch someone else talk about it, it's really easy. When you have to start doing it yourself, it's not quite so easy. So let's use a good example of that, and that's late night television. So in about 28 minutes, they'll show you a fixer-upper property, might be a marginal property, and they basically in 28 minutes turn it into a mansion. They don't talk to you how much money that costs, but they say, buy it, fix it, and get it back in the marketplace. It's not an easy thing to do, and you'll notice they always have a pretty girl, and maybe her partner's a knowledgeable real estate person, and they go blah, 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 and all of a sudden people are tearing it down, fixing it up, costing you thousands and thousands of dollars. That is not an easy business. I don't care what anybody tells you. It's not easy. It's a tough business, and who knows what they paid and how much money went in. So what we want to do is we want to learn how to buy a property, a vacant property if possible, buy a vacant land, and then resell it fast. Okay, I'm not going to teach you how to knock down the walls. I'm not going to teach you how to build fireplaces. I don't want to do any of that stuff. What I want to do is I want to buy it, and I want to quickly sell it. So I'm really the other side of the business, a little bit on the contrarian side. But this property doesn't cause any headaches. I don't have to worry about squatters. I don't have to worry about it burning down. I don't have to worry about drug dealers getting inside the house. I have no worries. My insurance is liability insurance on the land. All right, so I like to buy at low prices, and I like to be in the least competitive market possible. So in the real estate market, you're going to have massive foreclosures depending upon what the economy is doing. You're going to have builders in the market. You're going to have real estate people in the market. There's a lot of competition and lots of rehabbers and people that want to flip. Okay, I've gone to another part of the market, and that's involved in tax deeds and tax liens. Now, I don't get to pick as many. I don't get to see 30,000 HUD houses or 10,000 Veterans Department houses or agricultural. I get to see the leftovers of people that walked away. But what do I want to do? I want to buy it at the right price. So if you can buy it at the right price, guaranteed you can sell it at the right price. Buy it right, you can sell it right. So I've been involved in this thing for a long, long time, and I found out if I can buy it at the right price, then I'm going to make my money when I buy. So you need to write that down. You make your money when you buy, and you're going to see how this will create security for you, and it'll take care of you for the rest of your life. And you'll notice just by doing the few things that I'm going to show you on this video. And I'm going to buy the property right, then I'm going to sell it right. I might even sell it using installments so I can get more money from it. But I want to buy it low, and I want to sell it low. So start putting that in the back of your mind and thinking, Ted's a little bit different. Now, everybody else wants to buy a rehab, fix it up, and sell it into the retail market. When you're selling into the retail market, you have hundreds of people that are looking, you have hundreds of brokers, and you're going to have people going to Zillow to compare it. They're going to go to have Realtor.com compare it. They're going to have the multiple listing system. What I want to do is I want to buy it low, and then I want to get rid of it quickly, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to make my money at the auction. I'm going to make the money the day I buy it, okay? So it's not about what everybody thinks about. What you need to think about is not fixer-uppers. It's how to sell fast. So if you know what the selling price is before you buy, know what it is, you can figure that out, then you're going to be able to buy it at the right price. Then you're not going to get in a situation where you have high risk. All right, this has been going on for thousands of years. Everybody has a different strategy. Someone say to me, Ted, why would you buy low and then not make all your profit? Because I want to do multiple deals. I'd like to do one every month or every couple of months, and that's going to be available to me because I'm going to buy it in a different market. The most important words for me are selling the property. So number one is know what you're going to sell it for. No other real estate company is going to tell you. They're going to say, buy it, rehab it, do all that. I'm telling you, sell it. Know what the selling price is going to be before you go any further than that. Now, how did I learn all that? Well, I've got 30 years experience at doing the same thing. Buy low and sell low. Where do I want to do that? Well, I want to be where bargain earners want to be. I want to be at the tax deed auction. Why? Because the local government is selling the property, and they're selling it for somewhere very close to the back taxes. At least that's the starting bid. So if it's a $300,000 property, it might be starting out at $25,000 in back taxes. Well, that's a lot different than starting out at a foreclosure auction. The $300,000 house starting out at $150,000. I'd much rather start out at $25,000. Can the price go up? Yes, but I know I'm going to make my money when I buy. If someone outbids me, so what? I don't have any risk. My risk was going to the auction. All right, so I'm not going to take on all those people that got lots of money. If they're going to bid them up, they haven't got it sold yet. So we don't know how much money they're going to make. All right, to sell a property that's priced incorrectly for the market is a long, tedious process. Meanwhile, you're going to be making payments. You're going to be paying taxes. You're going to have people maintaining lawns. You're going to have water bills. You're going to have electrical bills. Or try it in places like New York where the heating bill can be $800 or $1,000 a month. All right, just go through a few winters of doing that, and you'll say, wait a minute, I don't know if this rehab business is so hot. All right, so there's tons of fixer-upper houses, but you got to look at just selling. If you're always thinking about selling, you're going to be okay. I know my opinions are contrary, but I've taught thousands of people the same thing. I want to try to get them for 10 and 20 cents on the dollar. Am I always successful? No. Sometimes it's a $400,000 house. I might pay 30 cents on the dollar for that, but I'm not paying 50 or 60 because when I get done fixing it up, I want to have some room left. So let's think about tax defaulted property, okay? They're sold for 60, 70, 80% discounts from the property value, and they don't have a mortgage. Let me say it again. 60, 70, 80% discounts, and they don't have a mortgage. That's where I want to be, and I don't want to change from that. If I can get it even less than that, that's what I'm after. I want margin between what I pay for it and what the property's worth. So I know what my exit strategy is, and I've got all that margin. And you'd be surprised how quick that margin can disappear. So let's use an example. So get your paper out, and I'll put one up there so you can see it, but get your paper out for now. So let's say we have a vacant land. That's what we're talking about today. We have land that we want to get sold. So let's say it's worth $3,000 an acre. Now, I don't figure that value, tax assessed value. Okay, so the tax assessed says it's worth $3,000 for each acre. So if we have 10 acres, that means it's worth $30,000 according to the tax collector. Now, the market's going to really determine what it is. However, it's coming up for tax auction. It's just coming up for a few $1,000s. Well, what if I pay, say, $4,000 at the auction? It was worth 30. I bought it for 4. All right, did I buy it right? I think I did because I have a lot of margin. Okay, that's what I'm after. I'm after margin. All right, do I have to sell it for the $30,000? No, but in my ad, I can say tax assessed value $30,000 must sell for $12,000. Well, now I'm 50% of value. Do you suppose that would get some attraction on Craigslist, on Zillow, with the realtors, with signs? Well, if I'm 50% less than the assessed value, I'm going to create traffic. If I have traffic, I can sell the property. The point is, the margin that I'm working with allows me to do that. Now, did I get top dollar? Everybody's going to say, Ted, you didn't get top dollar. You could have retired. You could have made yourself $25,000 on that. No, that isn't what the market is. I want to sell the property quickly. I don't want to wait 4 years. I want to buy the property, and I want to sell it quickly. And that's what our session is about today, how to sell fast. Well, you sell fast when you take an assessed value that you know what it is, and you can sell it for half of that, you're going to get a lot of traffic. Believe me, good markets and bad, traffic will come when you're at 50% of value. They don't know where I bought it. They don't know how long now if they want to do the research, they can find out. But how many people do we know go out and research the county records? They don't even know where they are. So let's say I purchased this property for $3,000 or $4,000. It's worth $30,000, and I can put it up for $12,000. Well, am I going to get rich in that one deal? No. But if I had $4,000 invested and I sold it for $12,000, well, what kind of profit is that? 200%. Where can I make 200% of my money? Can I do that in the stock market? Can I do it in the bond market? Well, if Bitcoin's on the way up, great, but I can have it go down on Saturday and lose it all. So what's the point? The point is buy low, sell low, and do it fast. Buy low, sell low, and do it fast. Where am I buying? I'm buying at tax defaulted auctions. Why? Because the bidding is going to start somewhere close to the back taxes. All right, now is this a perfect system? No, but it's a heck of a lot better than what you're going to find by watching people say, buy it and fix it up. Where are you going to get the money to fix it up? Think about that. What if you have to put a new kitchen? What if you have to put a new roof? What if you have to put a new concrete driveway? All that's a cost, all right, that's going to be out of your pocket, and you better have the money or that thing's going right back on the auction block. All right, you've got to have money to. So nationwide, we have 5,000 tax default auctions. 5,000. That's 100 every week across America. Okay, now think about that. How many do you have to go to make a deal? Well, if you got a little money together, I don't know if you're going to get a great property or no property. But if you want to buy vacant land or you want to buy fixer-upper houses, you can buy everything you want, but you better know what you're going to sell it for. And most people are very good at buying and not too good at selling. So most people prefer homes because they grew up in a home or they were conceived in the home and they know about homes. Well, we're not talking about homes. We're talking homes. We're talking about residential land. We're talking about vacant land. If you can buy it right, there's a buyer out there. There's always a buyer if you got a good idea and you got a good quality property to buy. All right. Now, this could go on for a long time. The reasons why I like the land. Why? I don't have any squatters. I don't have any building that's going to get burned down. There's not going to be any flooding going to take place. What's going to happen is I've just got a piece of residential land. Probably has some grass on it. If I'm in California, for sure I'll have to cut the grass. Other than that, I don't have to do anything. So buy it low, sell it low, and let's get this job done quickly. If you get it done quickly, you're going to be okay. All right, so you got the math, but let's do it again just to make sure. All right, so the value was established by the assessor. All right, so I don't know what the market value is, but if I know I've got an assessed value to work from, I can advertise. Assessed value is this, okay? I'll sell it for this. So look at my assessed value on the slide and look what I'm selling it for quickly. Wow, that's a nice profit for me. That'll pay a lot of bills around my house. How about around your house? Now, right below me is a free gift for you. I'll see you on the next video.